Hey, what's up, people? This is Global Game. My name is Salson.
And I'm Kyle. Today we're going to be talking about the Warriors' crazy winning streak, Johnny Manziel and Okafor acting up, J. Cole and Kendrick's new project coming out, and much, much more. So stay tuned.
And also the Psycho Man Stitches.
Oh, Stitches is out here.
Yeah. Alright, so Stitches, the man of the hour, or clown of the hour.
Wow.
Man, this guy from the jump, just looking at him kind of makes me uncomfortable and sick. And I was introduced to him over the song. I think it's called Molly Cyrus. It's pretty much just him being abrasive, talking about smashing Molly Cyrus. He's kind of just made a name for himself off kind of just being in the news, and he did stuff like say he smashed Kylie Jenner to get some stuff with Tyga. He doctored these photos of DMs with the Game, trying to make it look like Game and him had some altercation, which actually ended up turning into something, which is what we're about to talk about. But yeah, this guy is pretty crazy and whack, and really has just got his name out there by doing stupid stuff. So tell us about what happened and what do you think about it.
Well, first of all, this man, there's something wrong with him. He's a sickling, and if there is something wrong with him, I hope he actually gets help. Like, I don't want anybody,
really.
For sure, because he's gonna get himself into a lot more trouble, I think.
For sure.
The way that things are going. To me, his tactics, what he's trying to do, it kind of reminds me of like what 50 Cent did, like the late '90s, going after Jay-Z, going after Sean Poe, in New York. But
50 had the talent.
He had the
product
talent,
to back it.
He had the song.
Stitch has nothing, no bass to back it.
Yeah, so it's just, that internet troll mentality. I can say anything that I want. No one's gonna get me back. I can do whatever I want to. The man went to the club that Game was at. He was outside of the club. He was spitting on the Game's whip. Oh man, word got back to the Game. Things did not end well for Stitches, bro.
Like, even if these gimmicks work, like, and it gets you to be in the light and seen by people, do you think people are gonna want to work with you after, like, that shit? It could get you to a certain level, but if you get to that level by doing that, where do you go from there?
Exactly.
Nowhere. It just puts you in a garbage situation. So I don't know. I mean, guy's crazy. Yeah, you ever seen Charlie Murphy talking about Daryl?
Which one is Daryl?
He's the abrasive friend, the little guy.
Yes.
And he's talking about he was at their house and they knocked him out. He was, I want more, more. That's Stitches right now.
Yeah. I guess his crew ended up jumping him afterwards too, right?
Yeah, supposedly talking about Game paid him off, but I don't know.
You were lame, bro. Take that down.
For his own good, I hope he kind of gets his head together.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
whatnot. But yeah, man, I don't even want to be talking about it.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. Also, recently, Kendrick and Cole both dropped these Black Friday tracks in which they threw some bars over each other's tracks. J. Cole took Alright from Kendrick, and Kendrick took Tale of Two Cities from Cole. And they're both pretty cool, but I think the best part of the whole thing for me was when Cole said something along the lines, I don't know word for word, he said something along the lines of, essentially, I'm paraphrasing, you guys can't handle us, but wait till February comes. And Kendrick's sister also supposedly had posted something on Instagram saying February 16th and then quickly deleted it. But this is something that's been in the works for a while. Back in 2011, they were talking about it, and a couple little grainy leaks of songs came out, but we never heard anything past that. So looks like it's finally coming out. Kind of excited about that. How do you feel?
Excited for that. I love both of these guys. I know you're a big fan of the both of them.
Yes.
So for sure, I'm gonna keep a lookout for that. You should too. Rick Ross dropping his album Black Market on December 4th. This comes a week and a half after flooding the ears of his listeners right now with music for sure. I didn't expect the album to come so fast after dropping the mixtape. I always thought that the whole thing with artists, you try to keep yourself as exclusive as possible so that when that album does come, people are ready to buy, ready to listen to it. What's your take on it? What do you think about the timing of the album?
Like you said, I mean, it's kind of not what you would traditionally expect. I mean, I guess we kind of we're seeing it a little more nowadays. Artists, I guess, are trying to get their fans excited with a little bit of like a tape before a project usually, and it's cool. It's good for the fans. I mean, for Ross, it wasn't even like really too much. It wasn't like much original material. It was a lot of bars over other people's songs. But like you said, the exclusivity. Somebody I really look at who does a great job of it is Drake. Is marketing himself and marketing his music. Like the thing with Drake, if you think about it, he's never given you too much music, but he really will always like push you to the brink and then drop something like just when it's time, and it'll be the hottest thing for like the next couple weeks or a month. So like it's always some Drake. So I think he does a great job of it, and I think other artists like kind of need to find that balance, or as opposed to just flooding music. Like there's a couple artists who are cool with it, who do a good job of it, like Currency back in the day, Wayne back in the day, and like you have a Future and a Young Thug now, but a lot of people tend to oversaturate themselves and put out a lot of garbage products when they try to do too much. So yeah, I think like you said, it would be cool to kind of see artists go back to trying to put out quality over quantity.
Early projections for album sales have it at 50,000 in the first week, which is down from the 75,000 from his album that dropped last year.
Yeah.
It's not great, and he's a marquee artist. We know that Ross is known as the boss, right?
Yeah.
But I want to see Def Jam kind of talk to him a little bit maybe, and kind of get some more input into saying, you know what, you need to kind of hold back. We want to make sure that when your album does come out, you know, you have the sales that you deserve, because you are a hell of an artist. You have a huge fan base, wildly popular all over the world. So yeah. Soccer now, into the soccer side of things. For those soccer fans out there, Ballon d'Or, which is like the MVP of soccer in the whole world, that shortlist for that award came out last week. The top three right now, it's a three-man race. It's Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and like the black horse in there right now is Neymar. Neymar is a terrific player. Of course, he's my favorite player right now, but he is on the list a little earlier than people expected. He's made the list in only his second season at Barcelona. His third season actually. Third season at Barcelona, and the man is only like 23, 24 years old right now, going up against two giants of the game that have won every Ballon d'Or for the past 7 years pretty much. So stay on the lookout for that. The final results are going to be either in January or February, so just keep an eye out for that. In the world game, there can only be one, you know, king superstar for the year. So 2014, 2015, let's see who won.
Speaking of young guns, two people from different sports, Johnny Manziel and Jaleel Okafor, recently have been running into some issues with their respective teams. How do you feel about that?
Well, you know, always tough for these young guys kind of to get adjusted to the way the league works, kind of deal with some of these new responsibilities. I mean, they've been stars their whole life in sports for the most part, most of these guys. So it's an adjustment having to, you know, deal with all these new factors that are in their life. Starting with Jaleel, you know, some of the stuff that he's been getting into, kind of, you know, that kind of old high school thing, using the fake IDs to get into the bars, speeding on the bridge, getting in trouble. So hopefully for him, you know, staying out of the public eye so much will kind of help him. I mean, he's a big 7-foot tall guy, getting into fights with 5-foot tall guys outside the nightclubs.
You're going to be seen.
You're going to be
Everybody
seen.
knows who you are, and you're that big.
That video will be sent to World Star, TMZ, all of the above. So, you know, I mean, just keep an eye out for that. So just I think the Sixers are doing a good job of, you know, containing the issue a little bit, and I think they suspended him already for some of the stuff that's been going on. And I think that's good. Nip it in the bud early so that, you know, those problems don't persist. What are you thinking about Jaleel so far?
Well, he's 19. He's a young guy. He's still growing up as a man, so he's gonna run into a couple of issues. But I think what you look for in a young guy like that is that he's gonna learn from his mistakes. So I mean, I obviously you don't want to see it, but I don't think it's a huge deal if you continue to see repeated mistakes. That's going to be a problem. But I mean, he got suspended. Hopefully he'll learn his lesson and kind of ease up and learn how to conduct himself as a superstar. Johnny Football.
Johnny Manziel, you know, still carrying on with the same behavior that he kind of, you know, started getting into trouble with early on last year in the. Is this his third season now? Third year in the league, and he's still kind of dealing with these same issues. Johnny, man, he's got to just cut down on that partying. I know he got caught again on video partying in Texas when he the same weekend that he got named the starting quarterback for the rest of the season. We saw in that last Monday night game a week ago that Josh McCown got injured and they turned the third string quarterback Austin Davis from
well, he was then second string because they had demoted Manziel third string because of these issues.
But I mean,
yeah,
it was supposed to be
effectively third string.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Johnny Steeman. If he had just, you know, stayed on the straight and narrow, he would have been fine.
And it sucked to see too because that was a game where both teams were struggling to win. Schaub was throwing picks. Austin Davis couldn't make anything happen. And that's a game they ended up losing. So you would have to think a playmaker like Manziel, had he been able to play, you would like to think that he would have got his team the W. So that's gotta hurt both if you're part of the Browns family or if you're Johnny. So he has to figure out a way to get out of his own way of success.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I was having this discussion with my brother the other day. It's not as if other people aren't doing the same thing he is. Like, you look at Rob Gronkowski and he's glorified for his partying and his antics. But it's really no excuses. If you're Johnny Manziel, you have to understand the climate surrounding you and realize that there's a microscope on you and everybody's eyes are on you always. And you're not going to be allowed to do some of the things that a lot of people are. So you have to figure out a way to understand that and navigate through that. And it's going to continue being this way until he really, really cements himself in the league. So he needs to prepare to really push through these challenges. There's not going to be many more opportunities for him if he keeps slipping up.
For sure. And to me, like, the hardest part of it is that he's been really improving his game. From when he first came into the league, since when he first came in the league as a rookie, I can see his progression, that he's been working hard in practice, you know, after practicing behind, running routes with his wide receiver teammates. But it's like you take 5 steps forward, 10 steps back by taking part in that stuff off the field. So hopefully he gets it under control, and both these guys, Jaleel and Johnny, can keep doing big things.
They have bright futures. We'd like to see them get it under control. Another thing that caught my eye in the NFL was the Seahawks this past weekend really taking care of the then 7-3 Minnesota Vikings. Given Minnesota was playing without Adrian Peterson for most of the game and a couple of key defensive players, but still a 7-3 team, and Seattle really took care of them 38-7, dominating them. And it looks like they might finally be putting their names back up in the Super Bowl conversation, especially after beating a really nice Pittsburgh Steelers team the week before. So how do you feel about Seattle and what they're doing right now?
Yeah, Seattle was interesting. I know a couple weeks ago we kind of highlighted how that game against the Arizona Cardinals could possibly be a turning point for them in terms of improving their play. They started off the season pretty poor, and it kind of turned out to be that way. Even though they didn't win that game, they showed that they can, you know, move the ball on offense and do what they've been doing for the past 2 years, really. And so I think, you know, Seahawks are going to be really interesting to watch for the rest of the season. I think they definitely kind of put themselves back in that hunt for the playoffs.
Yeah, I think you have a great point. That game really did kickstart their offense. Russell Wilson has really found success. Good ball winner, 5 touchdowns in the past 2 games. Tyler Lockett, big play threat, finally getting integrated into the offense. Thomas Rawls proving that he could hold the running back spot down at least until Marshawn gets back. So things are looking good for them. Another interesting game, you were talking about the Cardinals game. Last game of the season, they face the Cardinals again, and that could have huge implications in that division. So that's a game that we're already looking forward to. But it's nice to see that Seattle, a team that I really thought had a great toughness about them and has what it takes. It's nice to see that they're finding their way back into becoming an elite team again, so it'll be fun to watch. The Golden State Warriors have moved on to 22-0, and it really seems like they're dropping opponents just with no effort at this point. So something that's coming into mind when people get around this little 20 mark is the Lakers record that Jerry West and them set back in the day of 33 in a row. How do you feel about the Warriors' chances of getting to that mark and maybe what they could do beyond that?
Yeah, Warriors definitely showing what they could do early on in this season. No real signs of that, hangover from the championship, really. That 33 mark is a big mark, is a historic mark for sure.
Yeah, that's a lot of games.
Just a lot of games. I know 6-7 years ago with T-Mac and Yao, the Rockets kind of put on a little run. And they got close, but they couldn't do it. A few years ago, 2011, 2012, I don't remember. LeBron James and D Wade and C Bosh, they did their thing. They had a little push, couldn't do it, and LeBron might be one of the greatest players ever, and he still couldn't do it. So I think it's tough for any NBA team to try and reach that 33 mark set by the Lakers, Jerry West, and Elgin and those guys. I think the way that how long the NBA season is and how grueling it is on players and even that mental hurdle of, okay, we have to beat one of the greatest teams ever, and complete that task. I just don't think the Warriors are going to be able to. I mean, if anyone can, I think it's the Golden State Warriors, but I don't think personally that they're going to be able to.
Me being bitter at the Warriors' success right now, I would like to see them drop it, honestly, and I would like for the Lakers to keep their record of 33. But I don't know, man. I'm looking at, first off, they're looking amazing. So really, anybody they play, I would have to say they're the favorites at this point. But also looking at their schedule, first off, I don't really think they've faced a real challenge at this point throughout the season, really, besides the Clippers a couple times. And I don't even know if they've really played anything besides that. But the only couple that I see coming up that might give them problems is a Tuesday game against Indiana. Paul George has been playing insane. I don't know if people have been taking notice, but he's really playing at an amazing level right now. So that could be a little scare for them. And beyond that, the only game I see upcoming that might give them problems is the Cavs on Christmas Day. And I think they'll take care of the Cavs too. So I don't know. I'm looking at their schedule and the way they're playing. I think they'll get to it. I think really the only team in the league, or the only couple teams in the league that could give them problems, are Oklahoma City and San Antonio. Really, I see them pushing it and getting to that 33 mark. I mean, anything can happen, as we know, but I don't really see anything happening that I could think of. I do think when they run into OKC, they will have problems. I think Russell Westbrook is somebody who has that, or like the only player in the league right now who has that killer mentality of Kobe. And I'm sure he's been hearing all this talk about Steph Curry and is getting a little tired of it. And if they get into a situation where Steph has to guard him, and he could wear Steph down a little bit, and he could be guarding Steph too, I think that's a matchup that Russell could win. And I think he'd be salivating at the opportunity to rip Steph's head off. So I think that'll be a game to watch for. But up until that point, I don't know, man. I think they could run the table and get 33. We're a little late to it, but our man Kobe beat Bryant, announced his retirement. I mean, we all knew it was coming, but kind of crazy to see in stone, and kind of just realize that this guy that we grew up watching is gone. So how do you feel? I
mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I was just telling my younger brother the other day, like, do you realize there's not been a year that has passed that Kobe Bryant has not been on the Lakers in your lifetime? That's ridiculous.
For sure.
I mean, 20 years a Laker. I mean, that accomplishment alone is crazy. He's the highest scoring Laker of all time. He did that, 5 championship rings, and no one can take that away from him. So,
at all.
I mean, he brought the city of LA and all the fans worldwide, because LA Lakers is a global team.
For
so
sure, for sure.
Yeah, he's brought the Laker fan base so much joy over the years, and just full respect to Kobe. Yeah, tip of the hat, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man, it's just crazy that all these performances we take for granted. I mean, even back in the day, we knew this isn't normal, but to us it was normal because that's what we grew up watching. So now you see the decline, and it's just kind of sad to see, and especially because, in my opinion, I don't really like the league that much right now. We don't really have much of these people who like live and breathe basketball and are really dead-on competitors like that. So some of the things Kobe was doing, man, I don't know if we're gonna see that for a long time. And I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just kind of cool to kind of enjoy one last ride, even though he's not playing that well. Even the Wizards game was like crazy cool to see. He had some vintage Mamba down the stretch, just getting a couple buckets. It was amazing to see. So if we could just get a couple more of those, man, I'd be happy. But no, it'll be. I don't know how it will be to be watching the NBA and be living without Kobe playing, but definitely tip my hat off to him, and much respect, and very appreciative of the opportunity to watch somebody that amazing play. Okay, guys, that was it. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and please comment. Let us know whose ideas you were rocking with more today, and whoever is on the losing end of that, we got some crazy peppers. Your pops got from where? Peru? Imported from Peru. Okay. Directly. So we're gonna do a little thing. Whoever takes the L is gonna have to have a date with those peppers and suffer. And we'll get that on camera for you guys at the end of the next show. So please comment. Let us know what you think. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace.